Okay, so I got a couple of these joysticks that came with my Atari 2600 I just got. And we're going to test them out, see if they work. Use my handy dandy little joystick tester here. Okay, it's got a nice, see how the signal's kind of jumping? Not making very good contact. Same thing with up, down, man, you really have to pull down on it. Left, see how the signal's breaking, and right. So it does work, but it's pretty unresponsive, which is the norm for, some of these older Atari joysticks. But we got the cure for that. We're going to install my little joystick upgrade kit, which is going to switch it over to the little small switches. And hopefully that'll fix us up, give us a good workable controller. So we're going to take this loose, and that way we can see how easy it is to do these upgrades on these things. Four screws in the bottom here. I don't think this one's ever been opened, doesn't feel like it. All right. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward little upgrade here. You got your core out of your joystick, which I made another one to replace this, just for the spacing to press these new switches we're putting in here. So that's all you got to do with that right there. Pop that in, and it'll go with a little notch. Oops. This has got to go on this side. There we go. Just like this. And your little notch goes right on top there to fit over that little thing that's holding it in place. Okay. So now, to replace the board inside, and this one is filthy. It's got dirt all up underneath the tape where the contacts are. And these wires are not soldered on here, so you just pull them off. And it's funny, I always like when people show pictures of stuff they've made, a circuit board, or they've soldered it, and everybody's like, oh, that looks horrible, look at that soldering you did. And then, this was a commercial product. Look at this thing. It looks pretty rough. So anyway, all you people out there that people are complaining about what you do, don't worry about it, because I've seen horrible commercial products from back in the 80s and stuff. Okay, so now we just got it marked here with which wire goes where. We just plug them all right back on. And orange. Now, just make sure that you got them pushed all down to the bottom so they're not touching the contact that's right above it, like that. And that's pretty much that. Easiest way to put these back on is to put it on the top. Like that. And then you put the bottom on, like that. Drop your screws back in. Look at all that dirt that came out of that thing. Boring part. But we'll put it back on the tester and you'll see how much better signal you get. And you don't have to move these controllers around. The range of motion is a lot less. You don't really have to you know, torque it to the left and right and all that stuff. Pushing the fire button, it's a lot easier. There we go. That's it. It's done. And you can hear the little clicks. A little harder to hear it inside of here. But let's see if this one's busted. They usually are. But a lot of things, a lot of times these little cores will actually break because they're so thin. And that's one of the biggest failures from these joysticks. Okay, hook it back up to our tester. Should get a nice, bright, steady signal. Up, down. Nice and bright. Looking pretty good. There we go. So that actually looks pretty good. Nice, bright signal. And I think we're good to go. All right, so it's that simple to upgrade your, I don't know if you really call it an upgrade, but repair what you got. Get a little bit better response out of it than normal.